Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have an interesting episode for you guys. You should definitely want to stick around for, so please make sure you go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as y'all know, the NBA season is right around the corner, and there are a few teams that a lot of us NBA fans are quite interested in seeing this year in terms of like storylines. One of them, of course, is the Los Angeles Lakers. We're waiting to see what's going to happen with that experiment that they have going on there. Some people are even wondering if Russell Westbrook is even going to make it through this season. And trust, you better believe it. They're going to be talking about the Lakers today because of what happened yesterday, I believe, against I forgot the team they played. Is it the Minnesota Timberwolves? And I think they tried to get into a huddle, and Russell Westbrook looked like he was he was reluctant to join the huddle. So I'm sure they're going to be talking about that a lot today. So there's some drama with them. But the other team we're all paying attention to is the Brooklyn Nets, right? The Brooklyn Nets are another team to pay attention to. Why? Because of all of the variables surrounding the team. Obviously, Kevin Durant didn't want to be there. Now he's there. So we're just going to wait and see how that's going. And Kyrie Irving is, I think he's on the final year of his contract. And he's going to be playing for a contract this season. And, of course, we have Ben Simmons, who hasn't played basketball in the last year. And he's going to come back. And, you know, a lot of people are going to be very interested to see how this team is going to look this season. However, yesterday, going into the preseason game between them and the Milwaukee Bucks, Stephen A. Smith was on ESPN, and he had some pretty bold statements, and he pretty much put out a warning to Brooklyn Nets fans, right? Maybe fans that think that this thing is going to be around for a long time. He put out a pretty serious warning that we want to play for you guys here. So what we want to do is we want to play what he had to say, and then we're going to come back and react to it. So take a listen to what Stephen A. Smith had to say here about what he thinks about the future of the Brooklyn Nets. Take a listen to that.
And tonight, Stephen A., you are very optimistic. You're looking through rose-colored glasses at the Nets. How much time is there for KD and Kyrie to make this work? How much time and patience is there for this thing to actually happen the way they want it to happen?
This is it. And barring a trade before the trading deadline, this is their last season together. They're not re-signing with Brooklyn. Kyrie's not re-signing with Brooklyn. Kyrie's planning on going to Los Angeles. He's trying to go to Los Angeles. That's what he was trying to do over the summer. That's what he's trying to do now. He knows that he's got to get through this season. Whether they win or lose, Kyrie is pretty much gone. Now, that's of course unless Joe Tsai changes his mind and says, okay, here's $250 million over the next 4 years, which we all sincerely doubt he will do. This, to me, is their last year.
So what can they do? You have been the opposite of Stephen A. Stephen A. has been optimistic. You have been the skeptic. Nothing.
Why? Why? Sports is the ultimate. People show you what they are. How many teams, Greeny, you've covered every sport.
Yeah.
We see teams have what happened to Brooklyn. We see teams do it in every sport. When do they ever just bounce back the next year and everything's fine? The answer would be never. So I don't trust them. What is the reason you would trust? Do we think Kyrie is just going to be out there playing 75 to 80 games with no drama, no disappearances, no absences, unexcused or not, no excuses? We think, since when? All right?
Since Bradley Beal and Zach LaVine got over $200 million and he did it.
Okay, so he's got to play. And what does that mean? Does that mean he's going to be in a team concept like he's supposed to, or playing for his money? Playing for his bag, or playing to get the Brooklyn Nets? Listen, Stephen A., if all he does is come in here and average 5.5 assists a game and does nothing any better than he did last year when they got once again swept out of the playoffs, what are the Brooklyn Nets looking at?
So you heard what he had to say. Now, let me tell you why a lot of what he said is something that we should definitely pay attention to and take seriously. Number one, we have the evidence of their best player in Kevin Durant publicly stating that he no longer wanted to be with that team this summer. It was the most discussed topic this NBA offseason after the Warriors won the championship, right? We spent the entire summer talking about where Kevin Durant is going to, his potential landing spot, why he wanted to be traded. And then obviously what met with Joe Tsai, and then he reiterated the fact that he wanted to be traded, and all of a sudden he decided to change his opinion. So that was the number one discussion piece. The point is, I'm trying to make is that that was clear evidence that there was something going on with that team, and then their best player no longer wanted to be with that team, at least at that time. So we have that. Then we have the Kyrie Irving aspect of all of this, which is this. We also know that Kyrie Irving wanted a long-term contract extension. The Nets were unwilling to give him that, 5-year deal, Supermax deal, because according to reports that they just didn't feel he was reliable, and they wanted to see how committed he was going to be to this group this year. And if they saw that he was committed and he was engaged for the entire season, then they would have no problem giving him that long-term contract. On Kyrie Irving's side, from what we heard that he was shocked. I mean, that he went out there to try to find another destination. And the team we heard about him potentially joining was the Los Angeles Lakers. A lot of people felt that that was something that most likely was going to happen. The only problem was this. Although him and Russell Westbrook, they had similar contracts with a difference of about $10 or $9 million, so they can throw in a piece here and there and make it work. The problem was the trade value of Russell Westbrook, not in terms of dollars and cents, but his basketball value. His stock had been so diminished after his subpar season with the Lakers last year, it became very hard for us to envision the Brooklyn Nets trading for a player that that has been totally ridiculed all off season. So that was a reason why a lot of people were skeptical about that particular deal going down. But at the end of this season, both of these guys are going to be free agents, right? They're going to be free agents. Russell Westbrook's contract is going to expire, and there's a real potential that Kyrie Irving could also head over there. So really, the message here to Brooklyn Nets fans is essentially this. This season may be the last season you have Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Ben Simmons in the same locale. This may be the last season, right? It's like a 4-year experiment that hasn't really worked. And some could say the same thing about the Los Angeles Clippers, by the way. But at least that team, made it to the Western Conference Finals. And some could say, well, they didn't do well because of this particular thing. But this could possibly be the last time that we see this group together. And if it is, it brings up a very, very big question, which is this. Is this one of the most disappointing teams in NBA history, right? If you look at, the amalgamation of talent that they had in James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and we just never got a chance to see that thing play out. I think it will be one of the most disappointing things we have seen, in the NBA for a very long time. So the question, the question to you guys is this. Do you think that Kyrie Irving is going to be gone this summer? And do you think that this is the last year we see this Brooklyn Nets unit together? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. And we catch you guys on the next episode.